Jason Wall writes in, Bomber fan watching from Winnipeg. He says, great Blue Bomber coach Mike Riley is the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for the Seattle Dragons of the XFL. So if we're looking for reasons to watch XFL this weekend, there's a tie right there, Mike Riley, who's been gone for a long time, by the way. But they still remember him fondly in Winnipeg. I'll still be cheering for Tampa Bay. That's my team. We welcome to the bunker Nick Lewis, Calgary Stampeders receiving king. How you doing, Nick?
I'm good. How you doing?
Awesome. Art, please tell me you're excited about the XFL.
I am. Just sports in general, especially new sports. You look at Vince talking about losing money. I think he means it as we're here to stay. And he's not afraid to lose that money. And he knows that it's just going to take time and they'll continue to build and grow.
Do you have a team you're going to be pulling for?
I would like to watch it first and see. But, I always go Texas first. And then I go outside of that. So.
Well, frankly, I don't even know who the teams are yet. He just said, what did he say? Seattle's got a team?
Yeah, I think Dallas has a team, but I'm not sure.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Well, it's Tampa Bay for me. I know New York has one because ESPN's pumping that. I can only assume they're airing it. But Billy Parker, you're buddies with him?
Billy Parker, Will Fields is there as well. We were teammates my rookie year. And, so quite a few ties.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I don't really know. Even what teams are in. It's going to take some time, right? You got to build a league. You got to build a foundation. But for the reasons you said, I'll jump on the Tampa Bay bandwagon. I'm a Mark Trestman fan. And that's as good a reason as any, right? To have some interest in following the league and following the games. I'm in. But got to do a little homework. I got to see it, too. I'd like to start seeing some of this stuff.
I will root for him. I was texting Trest the other day, so I will root for him. I mean, he's a good guy.
I'm going to look up the schedule right now. I got to find out when of my beloved Tampa Bay somethings are playing this weekend. Nick, what is your take on CFL free agency here through, the window opened on Sunday, so 4 days?
The only thing you've heard is McEwen to Calgary, basically, and that's about it. I didn't know they had to file official paperwork with the league of a contract, and then I don't know how it really works. So they file with the league and they say, we want to pay him this much money. And now does Toronto get a chance to match? It's almost like unrestricted free agency in basketball. Why even wait to let him sign if Toronto's not going to match it? Give Toronto 2 or 3 days in this window. Give the team 3 days or whatever it is to match it. And then he can officially sign there.
Well, what we heard was Justin Dunk saying that 12:01 Eastern, John Huffnagel's putting his offer into Sean McEwen, lineman of the Argos. He hasn't signed yet, though.
He can't sign it until free agency starts.
Right. So that's not to say that's the only offer he got.
No,
but so that's the only one that we knew of. But I guess when I asked you what you think of what's gone down, Cam Judge signing in Saskatchewan, along with Jacoby Cofield, the left tackle, Nick Arbuckle signing in Ottawa, those kinds of things. Nothing too crazy has happened yet, but I guess nothing can happen until February 11th, right?
No, nothing can happen. So only guys can sign their own teams, and I'm pretty sure agents are fielding offers. And, Kevin Glenn brought up a good point on my podcast. When you have so many, Dan Vertlip, agent for 4 quarterbacks in the league, like Trevor and Mike and Bo and those guys.
Matt Nichols, too. Zach Claros.
Exactly. So when he's talking to all these teams, I'm pretty sure all these names come up. And he knows exactly what each quarterback is going to get from each team to be able to negotiate it and to advise his client. So without there being a lot of agents to really divide it, names come up in conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this window really helps. It just says we're going to say it's okay now.
The conversations are happening now. We're just allowing it.
Yeah, but you got to be crazy to think it just started, a couple days ago.
Yeah. No, for sure. They're having those conversations throughout the season, throughout the off season, right? They know what's coming.
We're jumping around a little bit, but from our viewers, Mike Lee is watching in Maui. Says the teams are Dallas, Washington, D.C., Houston, L.A., New York, St. Louis, Seattle, and Tampa. Those are the XFL cities. Tyler Dacu, our social media advisor, says the XFL has 2 network TV deals and multiple agencies pursuing league sponsorships. Vince McMahon isn't losing anything. That's just what I saw. It was on the internet. It's got to be true. Devin in Burns Lake, BC says, I'll watch an XFL game before deciding if this is here to stay. All our football has come off until June. Well, except for CFL football. Well, I see what you're saying. May doesn't count anymore. The hashtag isn't May yet hasn't really caught on yet.
No.
But I know what he's saying. By the way, the schedule, if you care, I won't be watching these games, but ABC has Seattle at Washington, Saturday afternoon. Saturday evening, Los Angeles at Houston. And then Sunday, a doubleheader, guys. My Tampa Bay somethings are at New York, 2 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And at 5 p.m. Eastern, it is St. Louis at Dallas, Nick, on ESPN, on the Big Daddy. So when Dallas plays Tampa, you and I got to put a bet on it.
That'll work. We can do that.
Okay. So
who's your starting quarterback?
If you put a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you one player on Tampa Bay.
I think Stoops is the head coach for Dallas.
Bob Stoops is?
Yeah.
Well, there is credibility. There's immediate credibility with this league.
Yeah. That instantly helps a lot.
You have great coaches.
Yeah.
Well, and great players make great coaches. And actually, the only player that I know of in the league, if somebody put a gun to my head, I might be able to name a few, but Marquise Williams, the former Rough Rider quarterback, whom I really liked a lot, broke all of Darian Durant's records at North Carolina. For whatever reason, didn't stay in the CFL. He's down there. So I'm really pulling for him. But back to the CFL free agency. Nick, take us behind the curtain, if you will. How many times, or did you ever get an offer ahead of free agency illegally? Or did teams just know you weren't leaving Calgary?
Yeah, I think I was always signed by January 1st. Calgary does a good job of, if you have room left on the cap, trying to spend that cap room so it goes on the last season and not the new season. So they try to lock up their top guys before January 1st, and then it helps, right, with the cap. So to maximize the money that you have. So I never really got offers, and even when I was leaving Calgary, I was going to retire. I was talking to Huff about coaching and doing things like that, and Jim Pop just called me in March and was like, hey, you hadn't signed yet. What are you doing? So I just took the opportunity, so that was it.
And weren't you glad you did?
Yeah, it was good.
You had to have been.
Good. I had so much fun in Montreal. I love
and
Montreal.
You lived to tell about it.
Of course you did.
I got to hang out with John Bowman and Darian and Steph Logan and Tyrell Sutton, and all those guys, right? It was like I'm closer probably with more guys from Montreal than I was from Calgary.
Because you spent more time together? Or
yeah.
what?
Yeah. Like in Calgary, like now I talk to Rambo and Romby and Cope and a couple other guys, but Montreal, I have a chat group with like 10 guys that we talk every day. And yeah, there was a lot of greatness out there.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.